Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hi guys, this is Witty and welcome to a video where we're going to be discussing the latest Blizzard news regarding their recruitment for a senior software engineer for classic games. So this is latest news and many people have been talking about it as well as talking to me about it, and it's very exciting times because this looks like a true step forward in the right direction to bringing back those classic games that we have all loved and grown up with. And if you haven't grown up with these games, well, perhaps you'll get a chance to, because Blizzard are apparently bringing them back from all intents and purposes from what we can tell. This seems very clear cut. They're looking for people to basically debug unfamiliar code. Like, that says to me, you know those games from 1994 and 1995? Warcraft 1 and 2? Yeah? You remember how they're super freaking old and their code is probably almost extinct by this point? Yeah, we need you to fix that and bring that back. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that. As well as the other potentials such as StarCraft, Diablo, Diablo 2, and of course, Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 is a much more modern game in comparison to these other classic games that they're talking about though. But they do mention Warcraft 3 up here, so that is interesting. But we don't know for sure. What we do know is there's been plenty of rumours regarding Warcraft 3 making it onto the Battlenet app launcher, so you can easily access it. Whether it's going to be remodeled and all of this, we don't know, but we have had certain clues, such as, for example, the Warcraft 3 models have been brought forward into StarCraft 2 engine. So here, if you want to pause it, you can feel free to, otherwise you can just simply Google up Warcraft 3 models in StarCraft 2 and it'll pretty much bring up the same images that you're looking at right now. So you can see all of these beautiful Warcraft 3 models, HDified, so to speak, brought up to StarCraft 2 standards. And they also did it with a lot of the units. I know that Blizzard have been working hard on that, and you can see some YouTube clips out there where a lot of the Warcraft 3 models have been basically put into the StarCraft 2 engine. Whether it plays very good, I've put up a video or two, Warcraft 3 Alliance versus Horde or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, Alliance and Horde. But whether it plays well or not is another thing, because this is another part of this discussion video really is what we're looking at, is when this person is hired, are they going to be hired amongst another team? So if you like wearing many hats, no, small teams are the most effective. So look at the Hearthstone team, that's a very small group of people, probably slightly larger now, but it initially started off very small, and hopefully this person's going to be quite integral, whoever's going to be hired, towards working alongside Blizzard. And Blizzard have a lot of resources, they've got many other teams, they're a big company, they've got lots of experience obviously with their own bloody games, and many of the other people that actually played those games and created those games are actually still with Blizzard. Samwise, for example, the actual original dude, what made pretty much majority of the art for Warcraft. And he's the dude that created Illidan in terms of the, the way he looks and all of that. So I'm sure Metzen had a hand in it, because Metzen also did art, in case you didn't know that. He did the art for like the original Warcraft 2 as well. So you got a lot of the old schoolers in there, as well as new people that are very, enamored with the franchises that Blizzard have created. So we've got a lot of love there, and hopefully they're going to bring that love into bringing these old games back. So will we see a repackage or a full upgrade to a new engine, or the latest engine for StarCraft 2 and Diablo 3? Those are the latest engines that Blizzard currently have created to support these kind of games. I want to thank everyone that has mentioned this to me, particularly Connor O'Shea, who's actually, we've had a little discussion on the YouTube messaging, and he's given me a lot of insights in regards to his opinions, and I share a lot of his sentiments, and I'd like to go over some of them. So, what we want to know is, are we going to get Warcraft 1 and 2 repackaged? Like, updated in terms of just sort of like prettier graphics, or will the actual interface and the game UI also be updated? Will it be brought to the new engine, like completely updated? I think that's unlikely. We've much more likely to see Warcraft 3, as you can see from these images, that they've put pretty much all of the Warcraft 3 models in there. Now, you could argue, they could say, oh, that's just for the custom games and we want to make it more accessible for people to enjoy, but I'm very skeptical, and I typically go along the lines of believing that Blizzard typically do most of their things, because they are a business, they are a company. Pretty much almost everything they do has some sort of agenda to it. Now, it's not malicious necessarily, but it's like, you don't necessarily do all this stuff for free. They've probably got plans for these models, and it seems a bit odd that all of the Warcraft 3 models are basically being completely revamped just for, you know, StarCraft 2 custom games. That seems a little fishy. So, yeah, I think Warcraft 3 is much more likely to make it onto StarCraft 2, the engine, which is not really what I want, to be honest with you. I would much rather have it where I think, and I believe, that Warcraft 1 and 2, specifically 2, will be redone, as in, like they say, the coding will be fixed, and they'll just basically improve it. It's difficult. There's so many things. There's so many classic games. They could be looking at all of their classic games, or just a couple. But they basically need to fix the problems with the original games, like 1994, 1995, Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2. Repackage those, make it so that people can just play them on Windows 10 or the latest operating systems. Boom, you're good. You're going to have some fun. Perhaps Warcraft 2 even makes it onto the Battlenet or Battlenet 2.0 launcher, so that you can actually play online against other people in Warcraft 2 games that has been revamped. I really don't think that's going to happen for Warcraft 1. Warcraft 1 is so much more likely to be the Lost Vikings style of repackaging. Boom, you're just able to play it now. We just brought it up to date. You can play it on your system, but it's exactly the same game, basically. Warcraft 2, much more likely to be updated in terms of sort of like the interface and that kind of stuff. But Warcraft 3, that really looks like it's getting a proper revamp, but not necessarily in the way that I like. So, for example, I want to say to you, I played thousands. I even have thousands of videos of Warcraft 3 on my channels, and I love the way the gameplay is for Warcraft 3. I actually started my original main channel, WTi1, with StarCraft 2, but I don't like the way StarCraft 2 plays in comparison to Warcraft 3. I still enjoy what StarCraft 2, like the campaigns and the, you know, single player stuff, but I don't like the way it really feels in comparison to Warcraft 3. That feels so good. Yeah, it might be a little bit clunky, but it's spot on. It is spot on. They nailed it with Warcraft 3. It's got such a great aesthetic, and all I really want them to do is to go, Warcraft 3, we're going to HDify the models like they are here, but they're going to be in that Warcraft 3 engine, if you know what I mean. Brought up to date, you're available, you're able to play Warcraft 3 using the Battle.net launcher and all this kind of stuff, and maybe they brought it onto Battle.net 2.0, but I don't know how they bring it onto Battle.net 2.0 without bringing it onto StarCraft 2. Like, I'm not an expert with these kind of things. I actually might be able to tell. Maybe you know much more than me, and you might want to let me know, but basically I want Warcraft 3 just looking prettier and much more available to the masses. That's pretty much all I want from it. I fucking love the game. I'm happy playing it as it looks now. I don't even need it to be upgraded graphically. I'm happy with the way it looks. But if it gets graphically updated, fine. Just please don't hurt the gameplay, because the gameplay is basically the most important thing. It's the way it feels, and that to me is so much more important than any graphical update. You can have the best graphics in the world, but if the game doesn't feel great, or doesn't run smoothly, I don't give a shit. So please don't hurt Warcraft 3, but we'll see. They do want to revamp, as they mention back here again, like again, modern operating systems, but combat hacking to improve multiplayer. So they used to have Warden for Warcraft 3, and that did a fairly okay-ish job of banning people once every 2 years, so people could hack for ages. Even in the very, very original old school days of Reign of Chaos, there were high-level players that hacked like mad. So no one really got past it. You just ended up getting banned after a year or two, and then you just come back and do it again. Not that I would know, but yeah. It's something they're looking at, dealing with hackers. It's definitely a problem, because that's currently what Warcraft 3 is dealing with right now. If you play Battle.net, you're going to be dealing with a few hackers here and there. You know, you might want to go in War 3 Arena to deal with that one. But yeah, it's pretty filled with hackers, so if they could sort that out, that'd be great. As for overall performance updates, improved UI, game feedback, options, these kind of things, bringing it up to the 21st century. Well, I say 21st century, I suppose so, because it was. Yeah. So, oh fuck, I'm terrible. Anyway, I don't want to. Will they actually be able to improve the options and just the way the game feels? I don't know, without hurting it. This is something I kind of tapped on already. As for implied, they implied new gameplay and gameplay features. So new maps potentially, or just improved coding to make the game more flexible. There's good potential there, but I don't know how much power they're going to give to you, the user, other than just basically playing the game. You know, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but you obviously have the StarCraft and the Diablo 1 and the Diablo 2, so they could potentially bring Diablo 2 and recreate the game onto Diablo 3, but I don't know why they would do that unless they could find some way to monetize it properly. It seems like too much work. It seems much more likely that they're just going to bring this up to date and repackage it, because I don't see a real monetary value to revamping these games completely. Like, it is. Like, people will love this, but I don't. They can't, surely, put all the time and resources and effort into doing that. They'd just be mind-boggling. They have the source material, but they couldn't, like, redo it all on War Diablo 3 or StarCraft 2, could they, potentially? The only example of this is, as I was showing you, the Warcraft 3 models making their way into StarCraft 2. But if they play on StarCraft 2, will it look right? Because the graphics is kind of different. It's more realistic. It's less cartoony. Does it suit the world? I don't personally think it does suit the world so well. And just, this is a real issue. Like, you can see I'm getting iffy about it. I just want them to revamp it and bring it back to the people. But I don't want them to change it too much. But I understand it needs to be changed, but just allow people to, you know, enter the chat and all of this kind of stuff. Just talk about it. Be on your Battle.net app launcher. You can see your friends playing it. Then you can go and play it and join their game. Make it accessible, but don't frickin' ruin it, basically. So, yeah. Classic games. Are they coming back? What games are coming back? What do you think? Do you think all of them are coming back? So, to give you a good example, I would say Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, StarCraft. Do you think they are making a comeback? Any of them or all of them? Let me know in the comments section below. And here's hoping to a bright future. And of course, stay tuned to BlizzCon Day, because they might just well let us know. Alright then, guys, thank you very much for listening. I hope you had fun, and I'll be very interested in seeing what you guys think. So, take care. Until next time, I'll see you later.